Hey guys, so just to put something to pad things out for the next video, I'm going to be making a quick tier list video for the top 100 movies on IMDb. Now, before we start, I'm just going to say this, I haven't seen these, okay? Please do not make fun of me in the comment sections for not seeing them, alright? I plan to watch all of them, okay? I don't have unlimited time. I know there's 31 films on there, it's still a lot. But, hey, there's 69 films, nice, that we gotta rank, okay? So, be patient today, alright? You understand me? Okay, let's get in with this. So, 12 Angry Men is the first one. We're gonna put this, I think, pretty good is the right place. You know, it's kind of the benchmark for, like, this entire list. Like, 12 Angry Men is pretty fantastic, right? I still think it's like, well, maybe not. Because the thing is I will say it's like a 10 out of 10 film for me. So I'm gonna put like films I think that are a 10 out of 10 here. And we're already gonna get into the hot takes. So I did not really care for 2001 as much as a lot of other people. I do need to rewatch it. So Alien, kind of the same thing. It's been a while since I've seen Alien. I've been planning to rewatch it for the longest time, and I'll put Aliens right next to it as well. So when I say good, it's like 8 out of 10, you know? Like, you can essentially imagine this, like, one of the best is personal favorites. Fantastic, it's still 10 out of 10, just not one of mine. Pretty great is like a 9 out of 10. Good is an 8 out of 10. Okay is like 7, 6-ish. And anything else, I just don't think it doesn't deserve to be here. Speaking of okay, American History X. So, the thing with American History X is I think it's a very conceptually really good written film. But it lacks a lot of the things that make something, you know, like, fantastic, like 12 Angry Men territory. Now, hold on, Back to the Future's next. Okay, so is this, I'm going to presume this is part 1. So I actually prefer part 2, very slightly, because I love how this film gets revisited. But I still really love Back to the Future. I think it's a lot of fun. Braveheart. Braveheart's okay. Alright, okay, hear me out. Before people get mad over Braveheart. Braveheart has this problem where, like, every film, like, medieval-ish film from the 80s and 90s, every war scene is in, like, a plain field of grass. And Braveheart is like that, too. And that kind of ruins a lot of, like, the action scenes when you kind of know how it's done. So, I mean, I definitely need to rewatch it. I watched it in school, which is always a bad environment. So, Casablanca. Casablanca, I feel, is pretty great. I think it's a bit overrated, but I really like it. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I really don't have much to say. And now we go into a personal favorite in Cinema Paradiso. I love this film. I've talked about it in my top 10 movies list, but it is a film all about love and movies, and I adore it. It's so good. Yeah. Coco doesn't deserve to be here. I mean, no, it's okay. The thing is like, there are films on here that I'm, like, very confused why they're here. Like, both Avengers Endgame and Infinity War being here feels wrong. You know, and Coco's, like, one of them. I don't think it really deserves to be here. Dark Knight Rises, though, doesn't deserve it all. Dark Knight Rises is boring. It's not good. So I've got to go ahead and address this hot take. I don't really like Tarantino. Probably my biggest film hot take ever. But Django is the one I can get behind. Yeah, no, I think it's pretty great. Django is tons of fun, and I like how lighthearted it is, but it's also, like, super violent. It's good. I really like Django, but I don't like a lot of his other stuff. Doctor Strangelove goes in pretty great as well. It's a lot of fun. I love films that have, like, 1 to 2 locations for the entire runtime, and, like, the boardroom and the plane swapping back and forth between those is chef's kiss. I love it. Empire Strikes Back before I rank this, is a New Hope on here, or the original Star Wars? Yes, it is. So here's what I'm gonna do with Empire. I'm gonna put it in one of the best. All right. I grew up with this film. I love it. I have a poster of it on my wall. I love Empire Strikes Back. It is amazing. Endgame doesn't deserve to be here. Sorry. I actually don't really like Endgame. Whoopsie daisy. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind might be one of the most overrated films. People really love it. I think it's okay. But, yeah. Okay, so I can't really tell which Lord of the Rings poster this is. Are the rest of the Lord of the Rings films on here? Yes, let me just rank them all real quick. I think they all kind of go into the same place, though. Yeah. Okay, I can't tell. I believe this middle one is Two Towers. This last one's Return of the King, I think. But I think this one's Fellowship. So I think these all deserve to go. I mean, I'm going to put my... I think that's Return of the King. I'm going to put that in Fantastic because that's my favorite. But I really like these films. Now, I will say, I didn't fully appreciate them until my most recent watch. I think they're some of the best films Hollywood has ever produced in terms of, like, the amount, like, the achievement that comes with it. So, like, I think, you know, they're great. I mean, what, is it really that interesting to say Lord of the Rings is fantastic? Like, yeah. Fight Club is great. I don't think I need pretty great. I think great just, yeah, so a bit of correction there. Fight Club is a lot funnier than people give it credit for. I almost see it as like a comedy, and I don't think a lot of people do. And I genuinely think it should be applauded how much fun Fight Club is. Fullmetal Jacket. Fullmetal Jacket has a problem that a lot of war films have, where the first half of it is super good. Like, when it's in the boot camp, it is super interesting. And then once it leaves the boot camp, it's like a normal war film. And, like, I don't know if Saving Private Ryan is on here. Let me check. Do I... Most definitely is. I swore I saw it. Yeah, right here. Saving Private Ryan has the exact same problem. Where, like, the part of D-Day is great. It's visceral. It's iconic. And then the rest of it's just, like, kind of normal. So, yeah. Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is in a weird place where I feel like everyone kind of hates it now. But, like, I recall loving it. But, as I said, I need to rewatch it. Gladiator, pretty good. Godfather Part 1 and 2. So, a big hot take incoming. I'm not the biggest fan of the Godfather movies. I still respect what they represent, but Goodfellas is the better mafia film. So, I will put them in good, right? But, no more comment. I don't want to get flamed. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I think fantastic. It's not one of the best, because once again, I'm going to rename this to, like, because, like, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is fundamentally a phenomenal film. It, like, you ever watch a movie, and, like, you know it's long. Like, you can tell you've been here for a while, but you just want to stay there. You know? Like, you just want to watch a movie for the rest of your life. And The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a film that, like, you don't want it to end. Like, you want to be in this world. You want to see these characters. And it's, like, it's awesome. Goodfellas goes in fantastic. I think it's the best mafia film. It is, I mean, you gotta love Goodfellas. It's great. Good Will Hunting. Strangely enough, this is going to be a weird comparison. It's similar to American History X in the way that it's a really good screenplay with not much else. And honestly, Robin Williams, to me, kind of has that stigma. Like, I really like, Dead Poets Society, and I prefer that screenplay more, but it kind of doesn't have much directorial style to it, as much as I would want. So, like, yeah, I think Good Will Hunting goes there. Grave of the Fireflies, oof. Okay. This is fantastic, or my goats. So this film made me cry, and I think films that make you cry get a huge bonus from me. Cinema Paradiso made me cry, but Grave of the Fireflies, I think it has to be here. It is fantastic. And by the way, the order of these aren't in, you know, any particular. Alright, another thing I'm going to put at the top, Harakiri. Harakiri is, I'm going to make a video on this very soon. Like, maybe after my next one. But Harakiri is it's a masterpiece in structure, in tone. It is a film that I think is great because it's simply about a man telling a story. And I relate to that. Even though that's not, like, the whole point of the movie, I think that kind of concept makes it so much more interesting. it is like the best mystery film, and it's not even like a crime-based one. Like, for example, we're gonna have Seven later on this list. Like, Seven had to be like, to be a mystery, it had to be like crime, right? And Harikiri didn't do that. It was just a naturally engaging mystery. Like, you wanted to find out what happened. And I think that's great. Inception's okay. Actually, no, no. I'm a bit of an Inception hater. I think Inception is kind of I don't really like writing that's like purposefully convoluted for the sake of being convoluted. It's like it's the J.K. Rowling writing, where it's like it just gets really stupid and comical after a while. And like I know that's what people like about Inception, but it's not for me. Infinity War is okay. It's probably the best. Actually, no, Spider-Verse is here, but it's probably the best MCU film that's on here, even though there's only like 3. Yeah, it's still okay though. Like, am I really gonna put it on the same tier as The Godfather and Full Metal Jacket? I'm absolutely not. Glorious Bastards, I don't think it deserves to be here. I'm sorry, my Tarantino hot takes are showing, but it's like, I don't like it. It's too... So remember when I said Django, I like how lighthearted it is? Inglourious feels too lighthearted. Like, everything feels like a joke, and it's just not for me. I don't want to get flamed. Interstellar is very great. It's kind of like an opposite of Inception, where it goes for something more simple, but still explores very abstract concepts. But, you know, I don't have much else to say. It's Interstellar. It's a Wonderful Life, good. James Stewart is very great in everything he was in. I think he's probably the best actor of that era. And It's a Wonderful Life kind of struggles a bit at the beginning of it, I feel. But once it gets going, dude, like that final 8 minutes is some of the most jubilating cinema I've ever seen. I love it. Joker does not deserve to be here. I think Joker, out of all these films, Joker is the one I'm comfortable calling bad. Which, to be on the top 100 and for me to consider it straight up bad, that's saying something. Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful is beautiful. I watched this for the first time very recently, so very biased, but this is the most recent film that I watched and was like, that's in my top 20. Life is Beautiful is beautiful. It is devastating. It is phenomenally written, phenomenally performed, and it's just, man. Memento. Memento is my personal favorite Nolan film. Memento, I relate a lot to Memento, because I don't remember things that easy. I need to write notes sometimes. And Memento is actually, I think Memento deserves to go in Fantastic for me. I relate to it a lot, and it's great. Old Boy. My favorite film of all time. Love it. There is going to be a very long video on this one day. I'm going to dissect it. Probably ruin some of its impact by just talking about every single detail. But Old Boy is... Oh, it's my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite things to ever come out in this world. Once Upon a Time in America. So as of this video, it is the most recent one I have watched on this list. It is pretty good. Once again, like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, I really like films that allow you to sit there and just enjoy it. Once Upon a Time in America does kind of struggle with reaching character conclusions at the end. And it does have moments where I'm like, that didn't need to be there. Like, I gotta be honest, my biggest pet peeve in mafia films, dinner scenes of characters talking. There's usually way too many of them. And they're usually not filmed in an interesting enough way to keep my attention. That's kind of like those scenes populate Godfather and Once Upon a Time in America a bit too much. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Strangely enough, kind of in this American History X Good Will Hunting of just films that are like, screenplay-wise, really good, but I don't feel have much else. Parasite. Parasite is fantastic. It is... I mean, I love Korean films a lot, and Parasite is arguably the second best one. Parasite is engaging, it's unique, it's really funny. That's something that I think is a mark of a good film. When people don't talk about how funny it is, like the comedy of it, but you watch it and it's just naturally really funny. Like Parasite, funny enough that Fight Club is right below it. because I think these two are kind of like very similar things where they critique a lot about the society, but they're so funny while they do it. It's what this film didn't understand, Joker. Psycho. Psycho is a film that I think time has ruined it. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, Psycho is a film that because nearly everyone knows the twist to it, like, everyone is not going to watch it with an open, fresh mindset. And Psycho is still great, even knowing that. Like, the shower scene is unironically super suspenseful. I mean, master of suspense for a reason. But, once again, like, I wish it wasn't spoiled so much. Pulp Fiction. Not for me. I'm sorry. Put it right next to Eternal Sunshine. I think it's one of the most overrated films of all time. Maybe the most overrated. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get flamed. Just don't make me make a video on Tarantino. I don't want to make it. He's just not for me. Raiders of the Lost Ark. My goats. I'm gonna put this right next to Empire, because I think... Well, let me rank these out in order of how I would rank them. A bit. Yeah. So I put these two right next to each other, because these were my childhood films. I grew up with them. I love them to death. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the first film I can recall watching. I love it. I rewatched it recently to celebrate my graduation. And, God, it's just... I love it. I love it. Rear Window is great. It is, I think, my favorite Hitchcock film. I got to watch it without knowing how it ends. So that just makes it a lot more interesting and engaging. Requiem for a Dream. I think this goes in my goats. I love Requiem for a Dream. It is... What's the term? It is like... It's so intense. I've never watched a film and feel like my heart was pumping out of my chest more than Requiem for a Dream. I didn't think about it. It might be the best American film on this list, now that I think about it. Yeah. Let's go hear it for Requiem for a Dream. Highest ranked American film. Reservoir Dogs is good, though. It's a lot of fun. I don't have much else to say. Return of the Jedi. Let's be real for just a moment, guys. Return of the Jedi is not that good. Like, okay, the stuff with Luke and Vader is great. When Star Wars is a family drama, it's at its peak. When Star Wars is Care Bears, and they're on Kashyyyk, is that the name of the planet? I think. Whenever they're on the Ewok planet, it is insufferable. I do not enjoy seeing C-3PO become the leader of a cult. It is not fun. Why do you put this in the finale of a film? Right? I don't get it. I'm going to put it okay, because at the end of the day, it's still Star Wars. And it's not the prequels or the sequels. But, God, man, I don't think it deserves to be here, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't deserve to be here is kind of mean. I mean, I put a question mark in okay, but, like, almost see this as, like, okay, you're here, you know? And doesn't deserve to be here is like, get out, you know? Schindler's List, it goes right here. Schindler's List is a masterpiece. Now, you could call me biased because, I mean, I am of Jewish heritage, so I'm almost, like, required to like this film. But it's just, and it's funny. It's right next to Life is Beautiful. I just think that's fitting. Seven is fantastic. It is the second best crime thriller ever made. And the first one is Prisoners. Wait, there's no Denis Villeneuve film on here. What? Wait, no Blade Runner 2049, no Prisoners? Not, I mean, Dune Part 2 is on there now. Right? Like, if we go to IMDb Top 100. Yeah, it's on there now. It shows Across the Spider-Verse. Wait, did I not... Is City of God not on here? Wait. Hold on. Oh, shit. Wait, this is City of God. Whoops. Okay, my bad. It's great. I've seen that. I didn't notice that was the title of it. Yeah, City of God is super fantastic. It's, I think it's actually... I mean, no, I must actually put it in fantastic. I like it more I think about it. I think it's my favorite, like, gangster-type film. Gosh, okay, that made me really worried. I'm so sorry. Is there any more like that? Or I just put it in there for no reason? Okay, I'm so sorry. I've seen City of God. Whoopsie. Seven Samurai. Seven Samurai is great. It is not my favorite Kurosawa film. That is Rashomon. But Seven Samurai is a lot of fun. Now, I will say, Seven Samurai to me does feel a bit long. Alright, don't castrate me. I still love Seven Samurai. But it's a bit long. Come on, guys. Silence of the Lambs. I think it's okay. I think it's a bit overrated. Kind of in this category. I don't think there's much interesting directorial things. So Anthony Hopkins is fantastic in it. Spider-Verse. I used to hate this movie just because I don't really like superhero films, and I used to have a huge vendetta against them, and I still kind of do. But I gotta be honest, it's great. I don't have a problem with Spider-Verse. Spirited Away. I think it's comfortably the best animated film on this list. It's the best Ghibli film, I think. Actually, no, that would be Grave of the Fireflies. But I think, wait, why'd I move 7 there? Whoopsie. But I think these are the two best Ghibli films, basically tied. If I want to cry, I like Grave of the Fireflies. If I want like a general like better film and one that's more rewatchable, I'll want Spirited Away. The first Star Wars. I want to paint a perspective around this film that has been lost over the years. Imagine you are a kid in 1977, and you go to the theater, right? And you see on the front of, like, the theater walls, you know, where they have the posters, you see a film called Star Wars with that poster, right? And it tells you everything you need to know. Wars in the stars. You don't need to watch anything beforehand. It's not episode 4. Screw you. It's not. It is a film called Star Wars. And it introduces you into its world perfectly. And some people say it just rips off Hero's Journey, or it rips off like Hidden Fortress. But it's like it uses those elements to make itself better. And so I love it. I think the first Star Wars kinda slept on, strangely enough. Terminator 2. I think probably my favorite American action film. This and Mad Max Fury Road, I think, go there. I'm gonna put it in great. Just for the sheer reason of, like, you know, Dark Knight, good. I actually think that the newest Batman film is better with Robert Pattinson. I know that for some reason irks people, but I just think that way. The Departed. I don't like The Departed. I can't explain to you why I don't like it. I think, so as I said, there's gotta be hot takes in this video, and that might be the biggest one in terms of where I'm ranking it, because The Departed is a movie that is just, like, designed for me to not really like it. Because, alright, look at it from my perspective. Gangsters, such like mafia films, are a bit hard for me to enjoy. Like, I don't really rank Godfather that highly, and, like, Goodfellas is still high, and then Once Upon a Time in America is just good, right? I'm kind of underrating them, and The Departed is a film that does, like, everything that isn't for me, right? I'm not going to say it's bad. Hell, I'm going to move it up to okay, because it's, like, it's just not for me. You know, there's a film on here that you're probably like, yeah, I see why you like it. But, like, it's just not for me. Like, you know, Life is Beautiful. I like films where, you know, there's more than one character that takes up the spotlight. And it's like, to me, I love movies that are about just one guy. And Life is Beautiful is great for that. Green Mile. So, I'm going to put Shawshank Redemption up first. But watch what I'm about to do. You're not ready for this. Hear me out. Both are Stephen King stories, right? Green Mile is just more impactful for me. Green Mile, I've never bawled out watching a film more than Green Mile. Green Mile is a journey. It is Michael Clark Duncan in it is fantastic. I mean, it's memed a bit with the Boss I'm Tired meme. but it's memed for a reason. It's because it's great. Love Green Mile. This looks like the live action one. Even then, I'm not the biggest fan of the first Lion King. And so it wouldn't go that much highly either. Let me see. Where is it? Lion King. Okay. Well, I don't think it is I don't know why it uses this poster, so we'll assume. I still think it goes in okay. It is not my favorite Disney film. Now, I'm actually going to give a slight hot take here. I never really liked Disney that much, even as a kid. So, like, Lion King, I don't really care for. I would say my favorite Disney film is, like, Aladdin, maybe? But even then, I would only put that in, like, good. I wouldn't put it really that highly. They're just not for me, and I never really liked musicals. So, yeah. The Shining is fantastic. Let's stop pretending ourselves. It's one of the best horror films ever made. It's not my favorite. I think The Lighthouse is the best horror film ever made. But The Shining is great. I think it's Kubrick's best work. I've not seen, what's it called? What's it called? Why did I forget the name? I've been thinking of it. It's with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Why am I forgetting the name of it? Hold on. Kubrick. Eyes Wide Shut. My bad. Okay, that was embarrassing for me. Wall-E. Wall-E? I think it's good. I think my favorite Pixar film is The Incredibles. I'd probably put it in Fantastic, but it's not on here. Whiplash. Whiplash is... I've thought less of it a bit over the years. I think when I first watched it, I would have put it Fantastic, but I'm going to put it in great. And maybe it's just a personal theory of mine, but this film's, for like a 9 out of 10 film, it's kind of overrated. Like, how many people say that this is their favorite movie? Like, people that are around my age. I don't get it. Like, it's great, and I think J.K. Simmons is fantastic in it. But, like, Whiplash is, like, I think it messes up some, like, more directorial elements to it. Like, you know, when you think of films like, let's say, Oldboy, right? It has so much flair and style. And same with, like, you know, Requiem for a Dream, or Harakiri, or Cinema Paradiso, or, like, any of these, right? These films, you can picture how they look, right? You can't really do that with Whiplash. And it's like, I'm more of a visual person, so, like, you know, films built more on audio design aren't particularly for me. I mean, I still love, like, visual and audio, like, how that incorporates, but still. Yeah, I think this is the list. If I had to organize it just a little bit, I mean, these are ordered, but I'm not going to order the rest of them, because it's just a bit too much. Yeah, I think we're done here. Okay. So, once again, I'm working on a really big project, so I just wanted to get something out for you guys. I don't know if this is going to get, like, any views, but hopefully I was interesting enough to talk to. Or, not talk to, but, you know, hear me talk about movies. But yeah, don't get mad at me in the comments, alright? We have different opinions instead. Why don't we maybe ask about films we didn't elaborate on, and we can talk about them? Like, I'm sure there's some of you that are like, ooh, why don't you like, or why do you think Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is just okay? And I'll explain more. You know, let's not get mad at me. Alright, let's talk about it. Alright, I don't have time to talk about it. This has already been 29 minutes. I don't think you need to hear more of me. Alright? I'll see you guys very soon. Hopefully, I'll get that Blade Runner video done. And I'll see you guys later.